the Super Speedway.
Welcome to episode 319 of the Super Speedway podcast, recorded Monday, May 6, 2024. I'm your host, Erik Young, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, James Cush. James, how's it going this week?
Pretty good, man. I was thinking last night, if it wouldn't have been so late, we could have recorded immediately, because I was fired up for a good hour and a half.
Yeah.
Post-race, and was storming around my house, just full of adrenaline, just chock full of adrenaline, and then I crashed extremely hard. So, those. I have one of those fitness watches. I have a Garmin.
Okay.
And you probably have what, several Apple Watches, right?
Well, I mean, yeah,
a few.
You're right. I do have more than
Several.
one, but I only wear the one. Yeah. I have some older ones that have been relegated to the drawer, but yeah.
I've never had a watch that tracks your sleep before now, and I could never. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, I can never score over 85. Like 85 is the best night of sleep I can get. Maybe that's just because I have kids or whatever, or I'm just high strung.
Did you beat it last night?
Dude, 92.
Wow.
Maybe that's all I needed was a good cup race.
Nice.
to get me back to sleep. Yeah, I was like, wow, I feel well rested. I wasn't expecting that after that finish, let me tell you. So,
yeah, that's
well done. Thank you, Kyle Larson and everybody at Kansas. Chris Buescher.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. What was your number? What'd you say it was?
92 was my score.
Almost as good as the Was It a Good Race poll? 95.7.
Yeah, not
right
quite.
now.
Yeah, not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Who's voting no is what I want to know.
People are just doing it to screw with Jeff at this point, right?
If there was ever supposed to be a 100, that was it. Unbelievable.
So let's get into this right away. First of all, obviously, everybody knows Kyle Larson gets the win. Closest finish in NASCAR history, 0.001 seconds over Chris Buescher. What a heartbreak for Chris Buescher. But, James, is Kansas now the best track on the NASCAR circuit?
Yep.
Right. There's no debate, right?
I was excited about this whole week.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. I think Kansas is the best racetrack on the NASCAR schedule.
How about this? It puts on the best show.
Well, no, I disagree, because I think Atlanta puts on a better show. I think Talladega puts on a good show. But I think when it comes to a racetrack, Kansas is the best racetrack because they are still racing at Kansas.
Did you watch that first stage? That first
I
stage was
still think
pretty good.
Yeah.
And Watermelon Man was involved.
Well, I'm not saying that the show was bad. The show was great too. But I think that you can get a better show. I mean, you're going to get more consistent moments somewhere like Atlanta or Talladega than you're going to get at Kansas. But Kansas, as far as a racetrack, is the best racetrack we go to. We've talked up Homestead here for years. This has got Homestead beat even. I mean, this place.
I love me some Homestead. Well, I tell you what, I'm geeked up for Homestead as I've ever been.
Right.
Because Kansas and Homestead share a lot in common. Shoot, man, I think Clint and Kevin were talking about this last night. Darlington's coming up.
Yeah.
And then we go to Charlotte, and I mean we've got some good tracks for this car coming up here. We've got some good racing that's going to be had. The worst one might be one of the best tracks that are one of the most
sought after.
Yeah, most sought after tracks is North Wilkesboro. Who knows what that's going to be? But everything else looks fantastic. So
yeah.
Really good stuff.
Hey, at least we do have option tires at North Wilkesboro. That could make it interesting, right?
Well, yeah, we could see. I don't know.
That's not in the show notes. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, we will. Yep.
So Kyle Larson says after the race, we need more 1.5 mile tracks.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he did.
No surprise, he won the race. But still, I mean, everybody came out of this pretty excited about it. I mean, there's 2 vacant 1.5 mile tracks sitting right now, James.
Erik,
we can add them tomorrow.
Isn't it funny that NASCAR for years chased? They finally started chasing what fans demanded, which was more short tracks and road courses,
right?
And then they broke the race car to the point where it's the best on the tracks we used to have plenty of.
Yep.
And we tore down Auto Club, and we kicked out Kentucky and Chicago.
Yep.
And and now we've got, just a handful of 1.5 miles, and it's like, man, I wish we could do that again every week.
Well, if you think Kansas is a great race, then you want Chicagoland back on the schedule, because Chicagoland is going to put on an equivalent race, if not potentially better.
Well, Chicagoland was good towards the end of its life
exactly.
cycle. And there's still time. I mean, we could just tell the street race, it was good.
I don't even care about the street race. You can race twice in Chicago. We've raced twice in cities all over the country.
Yeah, get rid of the street race. That fits nicely on the schedule.
Yeah, well, it's too late to get rid of the street race right now. But I think we got another year of the street race, James. But
God, all right, if you say so.
But I still say, I mean, let's go to Chicagoland too. It's an hour away. It's not even. They're not even worrying about the same crowd. It's like the difference between Texas and Coda. Not really, because there's a lot of distance between those two. But anyway, trust me, I'm familiar with how big Texas is. Chicagoland would be a great race. Kentucky, you're looking at another Texas. It's going to be better than it used to be, but it's not still going to be great. But Chicagoland will put on a good show again. Let's go back there. I mean, I think we finally built a car that works on the tracks that. I mean, in all honesty, James, the reason that we built a bunch of 1.5 mile tracks back in the day is because they really are the perfect track to showcase NASCAR. Just we didn't have a good product on them, and now we've got a good product on them too.
Yeah, that, and they fit a lot of seats around that little dog leg. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the dog leg like they have in the front stretch, it's a good design because you sit there and you face the track and you can see the whole track because the track curves away from you. It's a really good design, and that's why we built 20 of them. And then the racing was terrible, and everybody wanted them to go away. But
now the racing's back.
Yeah,
better than ever.
And
Erik,
yeah,
how good was your eye last night?
Oh, I thought for sure it was Buescher.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought for sure it was Buescher.
I was flabbergasted when it posted Buescher.
Yeah.
When the scoring the pylon
right.
When the Fox tracker said Buescher, I said no way, because I looked away. I got excited.
But you're biased.
Well, I fist pumped really hard because I'm like, Larson got him.
You're biased because you're a Larson fan. Away.
I would have been okay with Buescher winning.
Right, but you're going to lean towards Larson.
I just thought he got him. And Erik, have you ever...
James, there's still pictures that I see right now that I still think that Buescher won the race. I mean, that being said, I think everybody now has finally seen the official picture of it from NASCAR, which shame on NASCAR and Fox for not getting that out on the broadcast right away.
Fox has to do a better job.
Yeah.
Fox has to do a better
job. NASCAR hasn't given them access to that picture too. Ben Kennedy went and tweeted it out afterwards, but that's too late. We need to get it on the broadcast.
The annual tradition with every Fox race is you watch the race on Fox, and then if you want any information, you have to go to Twitter and find it.
You mean like video of the last lap wreck on the front stretch that I don't think they ever showed either?
No, never saw it. On MRN mentioned it. Never saw it on the broadcast.
Yeah, there's a video of it. It's not good video, but there's video.
I got to watch Kyle Busch storming through the field from, what was it, 21st to 8th in the last 2 laps. That was fun. Yeah, man. We've already...
Well, shoot, Martin Truex Jr. made it back up to 4th.
Yeah, he was flying on his 4 tires. Man, that was good. That race played out so much.
It just was a good race all around. And I mean, I was tired watching it.
It would have been good. If it had stayed green, it would have been good.
Yeah, because I don't think Denny was going to make it.
They said, and I heard this on the teardown, but they said he was going to run out of gas in around turn 3. They said he wasn't going to make it. Truex was going to make it.
I think Truex was going to pass him before he probably ran out of gas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Denny was toast.
Yeah.
Either way, and the caution came out, and they had noted earlier, like, Denny doesn't do well on restarts. Like, his car just doesn't come in for about 5 laps, and he was done no matter what.
Oh, I was cheering for that last caution.
Yeah.
I was excited about that.
Well, and Jamie Little, thank God for her, because Fox didn't cover this either. Larson's tires recorded.
Yeah.
Before the last restart, so he needed to come in, or else he was probably not going to make it either. He used up the right sides.
Yeah, just
incredible all the way around. Just great, good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, what else could you want from a NASCAR race than what you got this weekend at Kansas? And let's not forget, that it's trending at 95% right now on Gluck's poll, and it also started 3 hours, 4 hours late because of a rain delay.
Yes.
Nobody even cares.
And it was a night race, and it wasn't supposed to be.
Right. But nobody even cares. We all forgot about the rain delay already because the race was so good.
Yeah, I looked at the forecast and I was buckled up. I was like, oh yeah, Monday racing. I love Monday racing. No Monday race.
Nope.
And I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we got that in. That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at the results right now, Noah Gragson gets another top 10 finish.
He was in the top 10 all day
Yep.
long. All day long. Never left the top 10. Is that his third straight?
Yes, it
top
is.
10?
Third straight.
You know, if he doesn't have that penalty early in the season, we're
Right.
having a different conversation about him right now.
Yeah.
He's been good all year.
Yeah.
Good all year.
Yeah, when he misses the playoffs because of that penalty, it's going to be such a kick in the nuts, man.
He dang well might win a race if he keeps it up.
Maybe. I mean,
He's having a good run.
he's driving a Ford, though, which means he's going to lose by 0.001 seconds.
Did you see Ford is 0 for 30 right this year?
Well, they're 0 for
Across all
3 on photo finishes this year because they
0
lost.
for 3 on photo finishes, and then if you combine the Trucks, Cup, and Xfinity, they are 0 for 30 to start the season after they took every championship in Phoenix.
Is that a product of our Fords? So are the teams that are driving Fords bad because Ford's bad, or is Ford bad because the teams that are driving Fords are bad?
I think the new car is getting them all in a tizzy a little bit.
Yeah, but that doesn't affect the other two series.
The other two series is that might be a different story. At least in the Cup side, they're dealing with stuff. So
I mean, is it you talking me down a couple of weeks ago? Is it more of a factor of the teams that are winning are a Chevy, one particular Chevy team and one particular Toyota team, and that's it?
Oh, yeah,
because neither of those are Fords, Ford looks worse than they are.
Gibbs and Hendrick are running away with everything.
Yeah.
And last night Buescher got as close as it's gonna get.
Right.
So
yeah, doesn't get. I mean, I guess you can finish 2 inches behind instead of 3.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they've lost 2 races by combined less than half a second. So, in the Cup Series at least. So yeah, it's been it's been interesting.
So
I don't know.
What
Logano's been bad all year, and Blaney's been just a little off.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if you look at the points standings, you got to go all the way to 6th to get to Ryan Blaney. The next driver is Buescher in 11th. That's the Fords. And then you don't have another Ford until Brad in 15th. So you got 3 guys in the playoff hunt right now. Logano's outside looking in. Gregson's outside looking in, and Cindric. All outside looking in. It's not pretty for those guys.
No. And who'd have thought the best Stewart-Haas driver would be Noah Gragson this season?
Well, Briscoe's in there too. I forgot about Briscoe. He's had a good year. He's had a good year so far. Pretty solid. Not like locked into the playoffs, but he's in there for now. But yeah, it's not like the SHR cars are not great, but they've got they show flashes. Penske is weird.
Yeah.
Like you should have more than Ryan Blaney in the playoffs.
Right.
Where's Joey Logano? What's going on? That's the stuff you gotta ask those kind of questions, and I don't have an answer because I don't know. Like, it's funny. Like Todd Gilliland, you kind of sing his praises, and those cars last night, Gilliland and McDowell. McDowell had a good run.
McDowell finished 10th and almost flipped.
Yeah, and Gilliland was leading at one point, and the strategy kind of was working in his favor there until the caution came out. But again, like every week we say, man, Todd Gilliland led laps again. It's just, I don't know, man. They have bad luck or whatever it is, but they're just missing something. Something's amiss.
If Michael McDowell was driving the last generation race car, he'd have been barrel rolling down the backstretch last night.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that sucker that's the farthest I've seen one of those next gen cars do a weight shift. That was close.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I've lost my train of thought. James, what other lines painted on the racetrack are unofficial? Do we know? Because apparently the start finish line's unofficial. We didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Start finish line's always been ceremonial.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would assume that some point of the start finish line is the actual line. But we learned
Yeah.
it's not. It's
No.
a laser line that none of us can see.
Was the backstretch line back in the day?
I don't know. Is the out of bounds line at Daytona and Talladega official now? I mean, it certainly raises some questions,
I
doesn't
don't
it?
know. Yeah, it does raise a few questions.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with whatever NASCAR tells me because they're always right. So
you're right.
I'm not really worried about it.
It was interesting that people got an education on the way the scoring loops work. That's something that, working at a racetrack, I was aware of the fact that the scoring loops generally aren't on the start-finish line because the transponders usually aren't mounted on the very front tip of the race car. So the loop has to align with the transponders. Of course, usually, like Tri-City, where I used to work, the timing line was positioned to where it was the right distance from the finish line to where the transponder would hit, versus NASCAR where apparently it's only 3 feet. So I don't understand that. But yeah, so at Tri-City, the transponder was official.
Right.
If you could look at the picture all day long, but what the transponder said is what happened. Well, that's not the case with NASCAR, which we saw this weekend. So.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Again, I think the biggest thing is getting that picture out right away is what they needed to do, so everybody would
Fox
stop questioning it.
Yeah, Fox didn't do it justice again.
Yeah.
So, but we don't have to spend a whole lot of time giving them a hard time because
No, we do it every week. Jimmy Johnson has another rough day.
he wasn't having a terrible day either. Like,
No.
qualified well, wasn't terribly fast.
Just when he got run over.
He got run over. He was not happy. Can you imagine Jimmy Johnson being mad at you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, LaJoy did just run him straight. I mean, he just ran him over.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he was expecting him to lift weight the way he did, but still.
I mean, you got a car in front of you. You got to account for them at some point.
No, yeah. I mean, he got dumped. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's Corey LaJoy's fault. He got dumped.
He got dumped. Yep. Yes, he did.
So, but just bummer for Jimmy again.
Yeah, there was only a handful. I mean, the cautions came in bunches. Like, Joey got caught up and got stuck on the...
Yeah.
Does anybody get flat tires and get stuck on the track more than Joey Logano?
No, he's definitely the king of it.
He's definitely the king of it. And then Cindric, Cindric crashed out. But a lot of the guys who had problems, they battled back. Even LaJoy was in the top 10 there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Did he end up finishing in the top? No, he didn't finish in the top 10. He stumbled. But yeah, it was... Again, very clean, very good racing through stage 1. Stage 2 got another. It was fairly clean, and then things got a little sloppy.
Yeah, a little sloppy at the start of stage 3, and then it straightened itself out. I will say that, man, the restarts 4 and 5 wide. That move that Chris Buescher put on. Holy crap, man!
Yeah, Chris Buescher taking him 5 wide for second was unbelievable.
That's incredible.
Well, he had the run.
Yeah,
just take it, right?
Yeah, never lifted.
Never lifted, just kept on driving through it. That was beautiful.
There are a lot of ways that could have went wrong.
Yeah, man.
And it would have taken a lot of cars with him.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, who was all in that? Bell. There was cars all over. Gibbs was involved in that, and I think Ross. He just he just took it. It was awesome.
Jordan Bianchi's ready to come back here a third time during the year.
That's fine too. I don't.
How many races? Let's go every other week at Kansas.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Between Kansas and Darlington and a couple others, we could race. We could limit the tracks down for 3 a year.
Too bad we couldn't warm this place up in November and run a championship race here.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be incredible.
I know that and Homestead. Just cycle them in and out. I'm good with that. Eric, I was going to ask you another question. Kyle Busch was having an incredible day, and he was the reason we got that last green-white checker.
Mm-hmm.
Still finished 8th, but I've noticed that car starting to come alive a little bit the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if, they had a rough start to the season, but I'm wondering if Kyle is starting to... I wonder if he's starting to figure it out just a little bit here. I mean, not the best car out there, but Like, I would not be shocked if he went into Darlington this week and figured it out.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
he's got to, right? I mean, this is Kyle Busch. I mean,
Yeah.
he's still arguably in his prime. He struggled with this car. Yes, he struggled due to lack of practice, not being able to dial it in the way he wants to. But I mean, he's one of the best drivers out there. He's gonna figure it out. You've got to imagine.
And I know he's driving it hard, and you can, and
Well, he's driving it too hard. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that was the best example. Like, he was hanging it out there, just trying to get that top 5 finish, and lost it. And then, put fresh tires on it and rallied. But
right.
Yeah, Kyle, just incredible. I don't know. I'm always awed by him, even when that car is not good this year. And
No.
you watch what Austin Dillon's doing, and a lot of the resources are obviously being fed into that 8 car as much as possible to make him a little bit faster. But that was another storyline that I was curious about.
He'll get one this year yet.
I think so.
He'll win his way into the playoffs, I think.
Yep. I think I think this weekend he could be a threat, honestly.
Yeah. No, he could be. It's a good track for him.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think the old guard does well at Darlington. So
Definitely.
He'll be on my keep an eye on that guy list.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Agree with that.
Yep.
25th victory, 343 Cup Series races for Kyle Larson. I still remember back when we were wondering when he was going to win his first one. Now he's got 25.
Yeah, remember it took forever?
Yeah.
Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
Erik, you ready for
yeah, go for it.
one win behind NASCAR Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dang.
all time.
There you go.
Whew. Yeah. 3 wins behind Carl Edwards.
Wow.
And he's almost caught Joey Logano. So
Dang.
some good names on that list he's catching here. We had 1 win behind Dale Jr.
That's
So
incredible.
His next one,
That's incredible.
Yep, his next win will be equal to everything Dale Jr. did in the Cup Series, as far as win total. So
Wow.
pretty crazy.
Huh.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, he's racked them up in bunches, man. That 10-win season really helped.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We don't have to have the Hall of Fame debate either. He's got the championship. He's certainly got the record. He's going to be going into the Hall of Fame, and he's got plenty more to come yet. So,
Erik, is this the start of one heck of a month of May for Kyle Larson?
sure could be.
I mean, he could do it.
Yeah.
Be the story the entire month, man. I'd love to see it. We'll see.
Yeah. I was going to ask you the question, which race does he have a better chance of winning, the Indy 500 or the Coca-Cola 600? But he definitely has a better chance of winning the 600.
Coke 600 so far. Let's see what he does with Indy qualifying first.
I think he's going to be a threat. He's going to be a threat. I'm going to be working all day that day. I'm not going to be able to watch any of it. I'm so bummed.
He's going to have a fast race car. I'll be locked in.
Yeah.
I'll be on vacation kind of, but I'll be watching.
I'll have to be checking socials for the updates, I think, for the first time in forever, because usually I'm like trying to avoid everything so I can catch up on the races, but I don't know when I'll even have a chance to watch them. So,
yeah.
But
well, I was trying to. I thought for sure I was going to have to 2-screen on Sunday, because I was going to watch some of the F1 race.
Yeah.
And I really tried.
I don't even know who won. I know Verstappen didn't win, but I don't even know
Orlando
who won.
Okay. And I'm like, it's so painful.
Yeah.
The last 20 laps and this is knowing Verstappen's in trouble. Like, he's not going to win this race.
Right.
And it's like, wow, this is great. It's still painful to watch. And then I turned on the Cup race, and the first stage, Ross is blocking everybody and hanging it out there, and I'm like, man, the first stage of the Cup race is fantastic. First 20 laps.
Yeah. If you want to make a NASCAR race look really good, watch a Formula One race beforehand.
Oh, get the preliminary race out of the way and get to the Cup race.
Yep.
So that worked out well. The rain delay actually helped.
So there you go. Josh Berry, highest finishing rookie, 15th. And Kyle Larson's your points leader, 29 points over Martin Truex Jr. for the Cup Series.
Tell you what, man, that's gonna be hard to top that race
all
year.
No, I think that might be our best race of the year right there.
Did either of us pick Kentucky? I don't think so. Right?
Kansas, you mean?
Sorry, Cheezo Pete's. Yes, Kansas.
No, I don't think either of us did.
Man, what a mistake. I'm gonna have to remember that next year.
Yeah, we'll forget because we're terrible at this.
That's a hot ticket, man. be hard pressed to think of a ticket I'd want to go to more than Kansas right now.
Yeah,
it's up there.
It's pretty high on my list.
Which is crazy.
The problem that I have is my kids are in school during it, so it's tough to get them out of school to go out there. But it's been high on my list even regardless of how great the racing's been lately. It's now moved up even further. So
it's fantastic.
I might have to try and push for the fall out there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. I don't have a race planned for this year yet, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're chasing around every other tour, so.
Right? Yeah. Why not go out? Why not hit another one?
Yeah. Why not? You're not busy enough.
Trying to look here real quick. Your best race was pretty good, James. It was a pretty good pick.
What did I pick?
Spring Bristol.
Oh, Spring Bristol was all right.
No, that was a really good race.
That probably was second or third. Well, it was definitely first or second going into Kansas. Now it's probably second or third.
I would argue that one beats Atlanta.
Yeah, it might have been first for a while. It's not better. I don't know. This is better than that. I'll tell you that.
My pick is still
upcoming. That race was freaking intriguing. So
I picked the Coca-Cola 600. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't give me too much credit on that because I think 90% of me picking that was because we weren't on dirt.
Yeah, I know. It certainly wasn't some Nostradamus type prediction.
No, I didn't see into the future on that. That was a great pick.
Yeah.
One of my many great picks.
Yeah.
Erik, we do have to pour one out for Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch.
Yeah, that's true.
On a long-standing record.
21 years.
21 years is the closest finish in Cup Series history. Still, I'd say probably the most iconic.
Oh, it's still the best finish in history.
I mean, it's phenomenal. But Larson did a good job of trying to recreate it by banging the heck out of the door of the 17.
Yeah, it's if Buescher was a little dirtier, he could have won that race because he just needed to put Larson in the wall.
Yeah, Buescher needed to come up and get him.
Yeah.
Buescher let Larson come to him, and I think it scrubbed. I think too, Larson.
That second hit scrubbed a lot of speed off.
Yeah, and Larson was coming downhill.
Yeah.
Which I think definitely helped him in another way too. Like he was picking up time, and I tweeted this out too. We should definitely mention it. Larson going as aggressively as he did to the high side in turn 3, knowing he did not have that much grip up there and making it stick, was I tweeted out that was Cole Trickle going to the high side.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
well, it's hard to say if that's exactly where Buescher lost the race. He certainly should have gone in higher, but then Larson just is going to go low.
But the guys were saying there was no grip up there.
Yeah.
Like that was actually a plot point during the race. Reddick had a problem with it too. Where they would get up there, but there was marbles up there and they couldn't stick. And I don't know, like I can't blame Buescher for not going any higher. Like who the hell was going to go up that far?
I think Buescher lost the race in turn 1. I think he took the wrong line into 1 on the white flag lap.
Oh yeah. Well, Larson chased him way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Larson doesn't care. We've seen this a handful of times from Larson. If it's the last lap, he does not care.
Oh no, he don't.
Just
He's not gonna be dirty, but he's gonna use you up.
He's gonna wreck stuff.
Yeah,
and he doesn't. He's gonna tear up equipment.
Yeah, checkers and wreckers.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Yep. And I love their response after the race. The audio clip of them telling him they did not win the race, and him coasting around. He goes, "Oh man, that was good. That was a good show, though, right?"
Right.
And they get to turn 3 and the crew just starts screaming on the radio. I mean, there's so many iconic moments.
How about seeing him pumped up coming down the front stretch celebrating?
Larson,
you don't ever see that out of Larson.
Yeah, he doesn't, he does not ratchet it up like that anymore. And man, oh man, was that cool.
That was good stuff.
Yeah. Man, just brilliant all day. Just good. I mean, I can't speak highly. I'm smiling. My cheeks hurt.
Right.
Because I've been smiling thinking about that race.
Yeah, it was a good one. I mean, it's tough to go anywhere from that. We're gonna have to because we got to talk about the truck series.
Well, yeah, and how many times, Erik, do we come on? And I know we've had a really good season so far. This has been a great season.
Yeah.
But we come on here and there's always an issue and we have to discuss it, right? I mean, that's what we do on the podcast. Like if it was just you and me, we just want to talk about the race for the most part. And I don't care if anybody says it's a good or a bad race. You know, a race is a race. But when you get a special one like that,
Yeah.
it's just it's just a nice reminder as to why. I mean, it's the reason why we do this. You know, it's the reason why we've been fans our whole life. Is you get these moments that are just, you know, they're special.
Yeah.
And this will make sports special. And you know, you shouldn't expect to recreate this every single week. Like nothing, you know, that's too much to expect from any sport.
No, we're freaking lucky. We've had 3 good photo finishes this season. 1 in the Xfinity Series, 2 in the Cup Series. Yeah. And we're only a third of the way through.
We've had some great races, and I know we've had kind of a lull here.
Yeah.
Of races that are, you know, they're fine.
Yeah. They're lulls because of how good the other races have been, though, really.
Yeah. I mean, when you have these ones, I mean, and poor Darlington. Like, Darlington is one that we look forward to every year.
Yeah, but Darlington can still bring a show.
Darlington will put on a good show. It's like, man, you got to come up after this one.
Yeah. Well, nobody's going to want to follow Kansas anymore.
No. What a banger. Wow.
Yeah. Everybody wants to follow Richmond. Nobody wants to follow Kansas.
Yeah. What a show, man. I don't even know what else to say about it. I'm just smiling, man. That was special.
Yeah.
No matter who had won that race, that was a special one.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
You know, it's more fun that it's a guy like Larson, but you know, I can only imagine if Denny Hamlin was on the receiving end. You know what I mean? Like if Denny Hamlin had won that race or lost that race, I mean, it probably would have made it even better.
Well, if Denny Hamlin would have won that race, it'd be getting like an 80% right now.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Most guys can push the positivity on the good race poll, but yeah, Denny always drags it down.
Yep. Always.
Consistently. He's like a 10-point. He's good for 10 points the other way.
Yeah. 10-point swing. If he wrecks, it's 10 points up. If he wins, it's 10 points down.
Yep. Absolutely.
Truck Series was in action the night before. The Heart of America 200. Not a whole lot, I think, to talk about here. Corey Heim gets himself the win. Leads 79 laps in this one. Just all around pretty dominating performance from him. Zane Smith also 29 laps led. I mean, those were your 2 trucks. I mean, that was your race between those 2 guys. Did I miss anything? I mean, Ty Majeski had issues.
Corey Heim, he won the stage as well. Like he was.
Yeah.
And you know, we should shout out, kind of correlating to the Cup race. He ran a really good race on Sunday as well.
He's done a good job in the Cup car his couple starts.
Yeah, and I know we'll talk about this, but Eric's getting back in the car. But, you know, shout out to Corey Heim. Like, he ran, Kevin Harvick pointed this out. Like, Corey Heim ran all the laps late. You know, the team gambled a little bit on that last pit stop and got him into the top 10 for the restart in the Cup. I'm talking about the Cup race. And it's just like, yeah, that, you know, what a 3 weeks for him, or what a, you know, it's actually 2 weeks, but 3 races, you know, when he's running the Cup series, and then he's, you know, out there winning this race and has a really good showing on Sunday like that. That means something. He's got what he's got going on right now is kind of reminiscent of that Carson Hocevar type of thing, where you've got this young driver who is super talented. He's going to win you some truck races, and he's not going to destroy things on Sunday.
Yep.
And Cup owners and teams, they're going to take note of that. There's going to always be a seat available. You know, rumors in the garage saying that there could be a Toyota seat open, possibly. You know, maybe he's a possible fit down the road. You know, we saw Hocevar make the jump from Truck Series to Cup. Why can't Corey Heim? So
yeah,
he needs a little more seat time, but he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of Carson Hocevar, we get Carson Hocevar in the booth for one stage in this race. I don't know why, just one stage. I don't know why Fox did it that way, but nice. Always nice to hear Carson. He was a little green in the booth, but he was fun to listen to.
Yeah, he we talked about him last week, having that big personality, right?
Yeah.
just getting reps,
Yep.
getting reps everywhere he can. He's going to be around a long time doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's good to see him hanging around.
Caden Honeycutt, strong performance in the 45 truck, gets 4th place finish. Brett Moffitt, nice to see him back in the truck series. He's run a few races this year. He gets top 5 as well. Ran really well in the 1 truck as well. So mentioned Ty Majeski. He had trouble right at the beginning. Ends up only running 10 laps, finishing dead last, 33rd, because of the damaged vehicle policy. So,
yeah, Brett Moffitt's first race of the year, by the way.
Yep.
In the truck series, and I know he had a lot of time in the Xfinity series last year. Yeah, I wish he'd get a seat because Brett can drive, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a bummer he hasn't gotten a chance somewhere. If you want a freaking championship, yeah.
I know, yeah, and he was in the Final Four 3 years in a row.
Yep.
So, but anyway, yeah, he can drive. He's steady. He'll get more seat time.
Yep. Corey Heim gets his 7th victory in 49 Craftsman Truck Series races. 2nd victory and 8th top 10 finish this season. Lane Riggs in 18th was your highest finishing rookie, and Corey Heim is your points leader in the Truck Series, 7 points over Christian Eckes.
Yes, sir.
There you go. There's your Truck Series.
Truck Series it is, and in and out.
Not a whole lot of news. You mentioned Erik Jones, cleared to race this weekend, but they held him out for Kansas. He'll make his return at arguably his best track, Darlington Raceway, this weekend. Good to see Erik coming back. That's especially this quick, and a good place to do it.
Yeah, he was cleared to run Kansas, but the team took a extra precaution.
Yep.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. We've seen some big wrecks at Kansas.
Yes, we have. It's just man, championships are hard to come by. I understand they're doing it out of precaution for his health, right? That's
right.
But yeah, cleared by doctors to be able to race, and the team sat him out. NASCAR said that's fine. They're going to let him continue to run for champion. If he wins, he has the medical waiver.
Right.
Very interesting though. I haven't seen it. I don't recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, Erik, or if you've seen something similar. I have not seen the team keep a guy out versus the doctor.
Certainly not that we're aware of.
Of course, right, not publicly. But they came right out and said it, like he's cleared to race, but out of taking extra caution, we are going to keep him out. So that's just very interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything other than they're just trying to be safe. But
yeah, I don't know that I'd lean too much into it. I have a feeling it probably had a lot more to do with they've already got the car fitted for Corey Heim. Things were set to go there. They've got him planning on working for Darlington. Not only that, you give him an extra week to prepare for Darlington, get him on the sim, working on Darlington for a week, send him in more prepared than everybody else to his best racetrack. I mean, that'd be
rested and ready.
Yeah,
all in.
I don't think either of us are expecting Erik Jones to come out and win this weekend, but would we be surprised if he did? No.
Yeah, I mean, go all in for the Darlington win.
Yep.
Why not? It's your best track, right? So, yep. It just caught me off guard when I saw that he was cleared by the doctor and the team kept him out. So
yeah, there's got to be a good reason for it. I mean, I'm sure we're not privy to it. Maybe we'll never know, but there's got to be a good reason for it. They don't make decisions like that just on a whim. So.
Yep.
Got some more news. We got some Stern stuff here. Just trying to dig for some stuff on a Monday.
Stern bombs, baby. Stern bombs.
Yeah, I don't know if we're quite in the bomb stage.
Not even bombs.
Just Stern nuggets, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Nuggets are better.
The Stern updated on the NASCAR charter negotiations with an article in a Sports Business Journal. Of course, we've got it linked to the little piece on J-Ski about it. Basically, so apparently NASCAR had floated the possibility of changing a clause in its charter system that would allow a member of the France family to buy into a team. But they got some pushback from the teams, no surprise. And they've scrapped that idea, probably.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Right now, the terms that the teams are demanding, there's 4 terms they're demanding at this point. 45% of traditional media revenue. Second, permanent charters. Third, 33% of new revenue. Denny was very specific about that on a Dale Jr. download last
He's very
week.
good about this as well.
Yeah. And then 4 greater governance powers. Yet they've yet to come to terms. NASCAR is engaged at different times with the teams about what the deal would look like over the last 18 months, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. You know, the New York Times article with Jordan last week really made it seem like it's really ugly. And then, I don't know, Denny talking about it this week. I don't know. I think we're going to get there.
Denny said that teams might not show up.
Yeah, they will.
I just think that's horse crap.
Yeah, they're just talking. They're going to show up because they want the money. I do something I wanted to point out here. So the teams all want NASCAR to share part of their pie, right? They want them to share more of their pie. So why don't the teams include in that agreement that they share some of theirs? So the teams are out getting sponsorships independent of NASCAR. Let's put it all in a pool. You want some of NASCAR's money from the sponsorship and TV money and whatever. Well, then NASCAR gets a split of your sponsorship money. And let's make it fair across the board. And maybe this has been part of the discussion. And no, that's not going to make a huge plus for NASCAR. It's probably going to hurt the teams more than it's going to help NASCAR. But I don't know. It's funny to me for you to come from what I understand the team standpoint. The NASCAR has this big piece of the pie, and that the teams are responsible for the reason people show up to the races. I mean, the people show up to the races for the teams, not for NASCAR. Right. But without NASCAR, the teams wouldn't be able to sell their sponsorships. And I don't know. It's
like any other pro sports, man. I hate to break it to the players and the drivers, but fans pay money to see Tom Brady or LeBron James, right? But they're not the ones who make the most money.
Right.
The team owners are the billionaires. These guys are and I know some of those are not great examples because those guys are probably richer than most.
Right.
But, the lower level guys, I mean, they fans come to see these players, but there's a reason that in football, basketball, hockey, there's a rookie pay scale.
Right.
Younger players, younger drivers, they don't make as much money. And I know the teams are suffering, but they don't run the sport. NASCAR runs the sport, but
so the team's argument with the 33% of new revenue is the teams want 33%. They say NASCAR should get 33% and the track should get 33%. Is that fair? Should that be a 3-way split between those entities?
I think they're all fairly equal, right?
Are they?
Well, let me ask you this. Who's the most important? I'd say the tracks are last. Can we agree on that? The tracks are last. We've actually proven that because we've moved the schedule around quite a bit, right?
Yeah, we can build a track anywhere.
You can build a track in the street of Chicago, or you can go to Iowa. You know what I mean?
And you can put one in the parking lot if you need to.
Well, yeah, that's what they do for F1,
right?
And literally in a football stadium parking lot.
Yeah.
So it becomes down between NASCAR and the team owners and the teams, and I would say that at bare minimum, NASCAR and those teams should be closer to 50-50 between the two of them, and then you have the tracks third. Would be my would be the way I would split the pie, but I don't know I don't know what's fair. I don't know.
I think
I'd say 40-40-20 would be, or you know what I mean? That'd be something like that. Would be more fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Only asking for 33. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like NASCAR should get the bigger. I feel like NASCAR is more important than the drivers.
Yes. Yeah, drivers can be replaced.
Yeah.
NASCAR,
the teams, the drivers can be replaced. They can, you bring the NASCAR Cup Series to a track versus bringing NASCAR drivers to a track. It's a totally different thing. Look at the Prelude to the Dream. The Prelude to the Dream was huge. There's a bunch of NASCAR drivers. It wasn't a NASCAR sanctioned event. It didn't do what a NASCAR race would do.
Let me throw another example at you. We were at Berlin last year.
Yep.
A lot of NASCAR drivers in that field. A lot of legendary NASCAR drivers in that field. That place was at a fever pitch, and it still wasn't NASCAR.
Right.
you know.
Well, I mean, it was packed, but it wouldn't
It's not
draw.
NASCAR.
I mean,
Yeah.
Berlin Raceway doesn't seat the number of
You
people
run-
that go to any NASCAR race.
You run SRX at Eldora for the third time, and it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't show as well. And
Yep.
that's a lot bigger facility that's held NASCAR races before. So,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think somebody's gonna have to. Let's put it this way: when this is done, all three parties will be unhappy with the result.
Yep.
And if they're not, then there's a problem with it.
Yep.
So, but James, these drivers aren't going to not show up. The teams aren't going to not show up. They're not going to go start a rival series. That's all talk. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
First of all, if it happened, it would be the dumbest thing they ever did. Because
Yes.
look at IndyCar. They're
I know.
still trying to come back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not even close. Not even close.
Not ever going to be close again.
The Truck Series gets better numbers than the IndyCar Series does.
Yes, it does. SRX would get better numbers than IndyCar
Yeah.
when it ran. Yeah.
So
Yep.
not going to happen.
And I know ratings are cynical sometimes. They're,
Yeah, but
it's-
it does give you an idea of how many eyes
gives you
are
an
on
idea.
something.
Yeah, gives you an idea of the interest.
That's
it
I mean,
gauges
where
interest.
where else are they getting value from? It's between that and ticket sales.
That's right.
I mean,
Yep.
and there's nowhere else.
Right.
Right. James, if you're complaining about the prices at NASCAR races because you think it's too
God.
expensive, don't go to a Formula One race in Miami.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Adam Stern tweets out the Hard Rock Beach Club. You could get a basket of carne asada nachos for $180. Lobster
Basket.
rolls were $280. However, just to clarify, Hard Rock spokesperson did say that his menu reflected full table pricing and that was meant for groups of 6 to 8 people, not individual portions.
That doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
These F1 people don't get it.
No.
They don't get it. They
So-
just don't. I don't know. Like
Man,
Miami
those
and Vegas
lobster rolls
is
those lobster rolls are still $35 a piece.
it's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's and I mean, I've seen pictures of t-shirt prices and hat prices and stuff, and you're looking at $150 for a freaking baseball cap. It's the whole thing is it's all a game of clout.
Yep.
It's a bunch of rich people showing off.
Celebrities making face.
Yep. Renting
That's all it
their
is.
fake boat in their fake harbor.
Yep.
In a parking lot to watch
Yeah, man.
to pretend to watch cars go around a racetrack.
Uh-huh.
Because they're not even watching. They don't give a crap about the race.
No, they don't.
It's just whatever. We'll keep our NASCAR.
Although MJ was there.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's because he's rich and he gets to show off like the rest of them.
There was a picture of Michael, Lewis Hamilton, Tom Brady, and David Beckham.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of championships in one photo.
Trump was there.
Trump got in trouble. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Did I send this to you?
I don't know. He got in trouble for something other than
Well, he's in trouble for a lot of things.
yeah.
No,
He's
tried to-
only been fined for the 10th time in court for violating his gag order.
He tried. I retweeted this a few weeks ago, so I it's gonna be hard for me to find it. Basically, what happened? Everything he does is comedy. What happened was, he bought a box, a suite, and instead of inviting people to the suite for free, which it was already paid for, he was gonna use it to fundraise. And F1 sent him an official letter. And said, "You cannot do this. You will
my.
be kicked off the premises."
That's funny.
It's like you can't sell tickets to something you've already purchased tickets for.
Right.
Just the way I don't know. You can go and find it the way it was worded. Anyway, he worked around it and was making friends in the garage.
What do you do? Sell Bibles for the price with a free pass to the
I didn't see any Bibles. I didn't see any Bibles this time. That's another one of his grifts. But I did see him with Zach Brown, principal at McLaren. There's a few other people that he was Which is funny, like he was just in my backyard literally the other day. And
Yeah,
and he's
literally
down
in your
Miami.
backyard.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all over the place right now.
Yes, he is.
Yep, I got pictures of Trump Force One. Trump Force One was right here, and then it was in Miami not too long after that. So he's making the rounds.
You should have hitched a ride. You could have went to the Formula One race with him.
I don't think I would do that.
You could have hung out with Trump and Jordan Bianchi.
I don't want to hang out with. I don't want to go to Miami. There's no. You couldn't pay me to go to Miami for anything.
No. No,
you could say, James, you want to go on a cruise, and I would say no immediately.
Yeah, no, I don't. I am not a cruise person. First of all, I don't want to be held captive in a group of people anywhere, especially in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
I
don't want to be in Miami
on a giant bowl of E. coli.
No, thank you.
And norovirus. All right. We did get a little bit of a Stern bomb, sort of, kind of, a little bit. According to Adam Stern, Stewart-Haas Racing has sent prospective buyers information on what it would take to purchase a charter. So the rumors are becoming a little bit more official now, James. Stewart-Haas is shopping for a buyer.
They're going to sell one, at least.
I think they're going to sell two. I think the second that deal signed, there's two charters out the door.
I saw that. Front Row was actually looking at one of them.
Yeah, I saw rumors that Front Row and Stewart-Haas were going to merge.
Yeah, there's that too. So if that's the case,
I saw a rumor that Tony was going to keep two charters, and then Haas and Furniture Row were going to merge.
Oh man,
but that was on Reddit, so I don't trust it.
I also saw that Martin Truex Jr. is retiring and Ryan Truex is replacing him because Bass Pro Shops is leaving the sport entirely, and I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
It's pretty extravagant. So take that for what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might want to consider selling two and merging. I don't think that's the worst idea in the world.
I don't think so either. I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I think at this point, downsizing is probably the best option for them. You know, if you put more money in the pocketbook and you can concentrate that effort on a couple of teams instead of four.
Yep.
I think they're stretched too thin where they're at. That's for sure.
Yep.
Something's not working. I mean, again,
I know
their best performing car is the guy that, you know, we didn't even expect to be signed.
Right. So. And it came out this weekend that apparently Briscoe, Barry, and Gregson have a little study group. And Ryan Preece for the second week in a row seems very, very frustrated with his Stewart-Haas surrounding.
That was pretty interesting. I did see that.
Yeah, the fact that he put that out there publicly, he was not like Ryan Preece is not a happy camper over there. He was mad at the organization last week. He's mad at his teammates this week. So if I had to guess, that's one charter that's up for grabs. Oh man, interesting. Just interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And that's it for news, James, unless there's something you know of.
Yeah, no, that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it, man. I was looking for some other news, but we kind of touched on a few things, so it's hard when the race takes over everything. So good. Man. I'd rather talk about the race than anything else any day. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you. With that, we go to Darlington Raceway this weekend. All three series in action this weekend, James. The NASCAR Cup Series is in action on Sunday with the Goodyear 400 at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It is also our throwback weekend. Get to see some good throwback schemes this weekend. The NASCAR Xfinity Series in action on Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern with the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200. And the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Friday night where they're supposed to be. I'll say it every time. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the Buckle Up South Carolina 200. James, I heard something pretty crazy this week on the Dale Jr. download. I don't know if you listened to it at all. But Dale Jr. said that he has kind of gotten over the number placement. He doesn't notice it anymore.
Well, he's the same as me. I still notice it.
Yeah, well, if Junior can get over it.
Nothing more glaring than when you have the throwback schemes come out and the numbers are all wampus.
If Junior can get over it, you can get over it, James.
I don't have to follow Jesus all the time.
So Junior pointed out on his show that there was at one point on the table that you could put the numbers anywhere you wanted to.
That's the way it should be.
As long as it was somewhere between the two fenders.
That's the way it should be.
And he said
that the teams can fix it themselves.
He wishes they would have done that.
They should have done that. I agree with him. I will follow Jesus on that one.
I will say that I would prefer the numbers where they are than having one single car run them to the rear of the door.
Yes.
I don't like the rear of the door.
I'm not going to fight you. That was so bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Those cars looked really bad.
It really, since we've gotten rid of the contingency decals, there was so much open space in the front that it doesn't bother me that the numbers are up there anymore.
Although the Larson Kellogg scheme that he's running, that 5 is very close to the center of the door that I've seen so far. If that's the way it's going to run, that's going to make me extremely happy.
Those pictures look pretty good. I saw the William Byron throwback today.
Oh, they screwed that up.
I felt like that one was okay. It didn't bother me.
The colors are fine. That they messed up the deck lid and the rear bumper. They messed up the design. They cheapened out and they went black with it instead of wrapping it in the colors. So
gotcha. There was another one that I saw that looked really, really good, but I can't remember which one it was. There's some good ones again.
Chase's car looks good. So does Bowman. I mean, all the Hendrick cars look good. I think the Hendrick cars really did a good job. There's a handful of good ones.
We'll do best in show next week after the race.
Yeah, that's fine. Best in show will be fine. I saw that SVG's running a throwback to Marcus Ambrose. So that should be good. The 97 I can't believe we're throwing back to Marcos Ambrose.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Brad Keselowski throwback.
No, I'm not either.
He had an opportunity. The Casey Atwood would have been so much better.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Eric,
I like Corey LaJoy's.
What's the year you would say should be the cutoff for the throwback?
I don't think
we've got throwbacks that are throwing it back to like the the late 2010s.
Yeah,
We're running out of ideas.
I'm all right. That's the thing is I thought we were going to pick an era every year.
Well, the teams don't care about that. Sponsors don't care about that either.
Did you see we got a City Chevrolet?
We got a City Chevrolet. We've got
Ryan Ellis racing the Cole Trickle throwback.
We've got a truck that's decked out in one of Jimmy Johnson's patriotic schemes.
Oh, the Brennan Poole Hot Wheels throwback is good.
The Hot Wheels throwback is good. I saw Cole Custer is running a throwback to the Tiger striped yellow car, the 00.
That's a good one.
That is a slick looking car, and it has the same number. That's always
the same. If you got the same number, that's an extra point right there.
That's an extra point.
Jeremy Clements looks really good with his Robert Presley throwback. That one looks pretty neat.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yep. How come nobody ever throws it back to Harry Gant? That's one I want to see.
They might not be able to. They might be limited to being able to do that.
Can we get the Skull Bandit out there? We've seen everybody else.
We had another Days of Thunder. Just Tyler Ankram's throwing back to the 18 car.
Oh yeah, the Rush Wheeler 18's out there. Yeah. Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep. Yeah. That one's gonna be tough to beat.
No, Daniel Dye with the Peak throwback, the Kyle Petty Peak throwback.
Yes, the Kyle Petty Peak throwback is out there. Yep.
Man, if they'd have changed, why do they gotta have the same style numbers?
Go
to the old style numbers.
That Russ Wheeler that truck is gonna be tough.
That's a pretty looking one.
That truck looks fantastic.
It does.
So yeah, that one's gonna be tough to beat.
Thad Moffat's throwback looks good. The silver Petty 75.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Some good ones this year, and obviously there's a bunch we haven't seen yet too. I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll have best in show this week coming up.
Yep.
That 5 car is going to be tough to beat when that thing pops out there.
That Kellogg scheme is so good. We've been
waiting for that for years.
Well, they did such a good job with it, James, that I had to do a double take to make sure it wasn't the actual Kellogg's logo on it.
Yeah, it's Hendrick cars.
That's how good they did with it. So
I know that one's going to be really tough to beat though, because that car looks great.
When they almost fool you.
That's the one.
Yep. Well, we're not picking paint schemes, but we are picking winners. And I get to pick first, and I've been debating back and forth on this the entire podcast because I don't know where to go. I can go with the easy pick, but I don't really want to go with the easy pick because it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use your advice, and I'm going to pick Kyle Busch as my pick this weekend.
All right. Yeah, he's been one of the top drivers here the last couple seasons.
Yeah,
so.
when I was there, he was on his way to winning until he blew up. So,
yep.
Of course, that was the old car. Or no, that was the new car, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was. He was in the 18
yep.
and was leading the race and blew it up.
Yep.
So, but yeah, last year he had an average finish of 9th here in our last 2 starts. I'm gonna go with this team was very close to winning this week. But I'm gonna go with the car owner, not the 17. I'm gonna take the 6. I'm gonna go Brad Keselowski. I feel like the old dogs, like this is one place where the old dogs have an advantage.
He's ranked 7th here over the last 4 races.
And I'm scared. There is part of me that is, not that I'm scared of this, but I have a feeling William Byron is going to come in here and just absolutely obliterate
He's
people.
really the pick. I mean, it's Byron. Joey Logano would be a good pick if he wasn't running so terribly, but
he's terrible right now.
This is also the type of track that Joey Logano could come out and just be the old Joey Logano again for 1 week.
Last year, the guy who probably won't be showing up on the stat sheet, but he dominated out here last year. 2 guys, actually. 2 guys. The 2 lap leaders from 2023 are Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr., and they don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
They did not get the finishes last year.
Denny historically has been good here, though.
Denny's always been good here, and he's good at, and this has been his season, right?
Yeah.
He said he's going to win the championship, so now we have it on record.
Yep.
Interesting though. Yeah, there's a.
Can you imagine if Denny finally gets it?
I don't know what's going to happen if he finally gets it. He might retire. Who knows?
Why not?
That might be it.
No reason to keep going then.
Yeah, that's right. He's done it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he wins the Brickyard 400 this year, we'll know.
Right.
We're gonna know. We're gonna know if we get to Indianapolis, we'll know.
Yep. How'd Fantasy League go this week? I don't want to talk about it, so you can.
I was having a really good day. Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick were on my roster, and then there was like 20 to go, and they both pitted, and I went, "What the heck?"
Right.
And then the caution came out. But Green Eggs and Hamlin killed everybody this week. 257. Then Fast to the Grass was 2nd. 3rd was Freight Train. I was 5th. Eric, you were, oh dear God, 16th.
Yeah, it was bad. But before we go any further, I want to do this for a second.
Oh,
slow clap for James
because
you did beat Watermelon James this week.
I did squeeze the melon this week.
Yes, you did. Oh, there you go.
Barely, but I beat that son of a gun.
About time.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez. I really thought I was going to win this week. I was crushing for a long time.
I liked my picks, but it was obviously not good.
No. Well, at least you didn't put up a 47.
Well, I was proud of myself because I put Noah Gregson in there because I'm like, yeah, Gregson's been doing top 5s, top 10s. I might as well put him in there. That's going to help me out. Yeah, it wasn't enough.
Well, I tell you what, overall standings, wasn't as, I don't know what happened, but I guess as long as I'm making ground on the leader, right? Team Justin is in 1st, Cole Custer 2nd, Smoking Grill Racing is 3rd. They are under a blanket. Between the 3 of them, they're only 30-point difference from 1st and 3rd. Mickey Elliott is 4th, 3-time champ is 5th. Eric, you're 7th. I am still in 11th. We're all pretty tight. Everybody's pretty tight all the way down to 12th.
That's been the story this year.
Yeah, it's been a lot of mediocrity. So I'm not out of it, but man, this is definitely my worst season that I've had doing this. I just can't seem to catch a break. So hopefully Darlington will be my week. I can bust out of my slump.
There you go.
But yeah, back to my normal 5th and 6th place finishes. That's usually where I'm at. So that's fantasy.
Better than what I've been doing.
Yeah.
How about Checkered Flags
this week? Last week, didn't you? Didn't you almost win last week?
Yeah, well, almost. I haven't won yet, though. Damn it.
I think I know what you're going to do with your checkered flag.
You think so? Probably. You're probably
I
right.
think so. Or it might be your black flag. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Then I don't think you do know where I'm going. Go ahead. What's your checkered flag?
Well, ours might be related.
That's okay.
Checkered flag F1. Keep Natalie Decker.
Oh, I wasn't
She's
going
at
there.
the Miami Grand Prix. You just keep her. You can have her.
Yeah.
Checkered flag F1. You guys have her.
Hey,
You're more than welcome to it.
She's racing at Charlotte, James.
On a serious note, though, F1 announced that they're doing a Netflix documentary on their all-women's racing series.
Okay.
Bravo. I am looking
awesome.
forward to actually watching that. Women's sports are having a moment, man.
Yeah.
So, bravo to them.
And
Bravo to them.
I will rip on Natalie Decker all day long, but I will give her credit. She's bringing another new sponsor to the sport. It is Bikini Zone Shave Gel. But hey, man, James, again, I mean, you're bringing there is a huge female audience in NASCAR, and you're bringing a female product to NASCAR. So I'm not gonna give you crap about that. So.
Yeah, well, we had Kim Kardashian on a race car once before.
Yeah.
So,
I'm all right. I'm all right with it. Bring if you're gonna bring new
Bikini
sponsors, if you're bringing new sponsors, you're good.
You sent me that on Facebook, and I didn't. Sometimes I don't know what to do with it, so I just don't say anything. That was one of those moments where I just was like, I'm on to the next thing. Here's a video of the Kansas finish set to Michael Bay and the end of Transformers with Linkin Park. That's
right.
That's me distracting myself.
That's why I brought it up on the podcast, because you didn't respond. I needed some more out of you.
I can't do it. I can't do it sometimes. And it's my own fault I brought her up.
Well, I'm getting to this point with Natalie Decker that she irritates me so much and I dislike her so much that I'm becoming a fan. So, well, whatever. Not really, though.
You used to call me a hater on Natalie Decker.
I did. At
one time.
I did. And then I saw her social media.
You know what the best part
Natalie Decker is great. If I just never see her social media, then she doesn't bother me.
Well, the thing that you do too, and you know you do this, but
oh boy,
you can't stand her, but you also know the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
And you send her crap to me all the time.
100%.
Just knowing how much it irritates.
Again, that's 90% of the reason that I like Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin.
Right. Right.
So yes, I definitely become fans of people that you dislike.
Yeah, and then anybody I do like, you get all agitated with me about.
Right. Like, I'm a giant LeBron James fan. I think LeBron James is the GOAT.
Well, that's not paying off very well for you right now, is it?
I really can't stand LeBron James, but I will constantly bring up LeBron James to you.
The enemy of my enemy.
Yes.
The enemy of my enemy.
Yes. Yeah. So, would you like my checkered flag, James?
Do it, man.
My checkered flag is the petition. Go sign the petition to get Berlin Raceway on iRacing.
Oh, yes, I saw this.
Berlin Raceway is trying to get people to sign the petition to scan the track and put it on iRacing. And if we can get Berlin Raceway on iRacing, I might just get iRacing.
Is that going to be it? That's what's going to push you over the edge?
I don't know, man. I'm close. I'm getting close.
Wow. There's no way.
No, I feel like
you're not that close.
Either you're falling asleep over there, or we've got a massive delay on our.
No. I'm thinking
you're
about
distracted. Is what the problem is.
No. I'm trying to think about how I want to respond to you because there's no way. There's no way.
I'll tell you what. If they can put Berlin Raceway and Anderson Speedway on there after watching Anderson Speedway this weekend, I'd definitely get iRacing just for those two tracks.
There's no way.
It's going to happen. Eventually, I will have iRacing. If I was a PC guy, I'd already have it. The problem is I just don't have a reason to have a PC. If they put iRacing on Mac, I'd be in.
Your wife...
My wife loves me, and she would... I wouldn't abuse it. Yeah, I would. But only for a little while. My wife loves me. She would stick it out. That or I'd have a lot more time to play on iRacing.
Sure. Let me ask you that.
Oh boy.
You don't sleep now.
You're going to get me in trouble.
I know, but how are you supposed to sleep? Like you have so many interests.
Who
and
needs
so many
sleep?
things.
Who needs sleep?
Well, you sleep when you're dead. Isn't that what they say?
Exactly.
I gotta tell you, last week when you were coughing and hacking so bad, I was worried about your health for a little while.
Well, I'm still coughing.
Like,
I just managed to hit the mute button every time but one, I think, tonight.
Erik's all over the place all the time. He's driving to Indiana, and then he's back up to Saginaw, and he's almost going to Canada. I'm worried about you.
Yeah,
I'm worried about you. I'm having a hard time. I don't want to see you making yourself suffer, but here you are. You're just grinding.
It's not suffering, man. I'm enjoying it.
You're doing great.
It's good stuff. It's a lot of fun stuff.
I know everybody supports you, but I support you as well. I'm just worried about you. That's all.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem.
How about black flags, James? Any black flags this week? Just a spoiler, just a teaser. Mine is also non-NASCAR related this week.
Is it really?
Yeah, again.
Oh man.
It is sports related though, but not NASCAR.
Oh man.
And you're gonna laugh when I do it. You
that
will
makes
give
me
me
laugh just
crap
thinking
about
about
it. I guarantee it.
Now
I know you can't wait for mine, but go ahead. What do you got?
I know. I'll go quickly. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I really tried with F1. I really did. But the product itself is a black flag. Even when you have a new winner.
At least they've got a good broadcast and they've got a good announcer.
Well, they handle things very professionally.
But if they didn't have the announcer that they have, they would not have a product.
I tell you what, their telecast kicks our butt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
They've got a great. I mean,
is that going to be fixed with the NASCAR Production Center?
No.
I mean, it could be. That's how Formula One does it.
Fox at one point, there was I should have noted this earlier. There was a battle for the lead in the middle of stage 3 on Sunday, and they cut to commercial, and it wasn't even side by side. And I just shook my head.
Well, anymore.
I had somebody tell me today that you should be able to opt out of certain commercials on live sports like you do on social media. Like if you see too many of them all the time. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. They're still going to push crap to you.
Yeah.
Just like that stupid.
Well,
if I'm doing that Whopper commercial one more time, I'm going to strangle somebody.
I can't tell you how many times they'll be like, oh, watch this battle here. And then this camera change and we're on a different battle. It's just,
oh my God. Yeah.
But if you think it's bad, James, and I didn't watch this week's yet because I've just had too much stuff going on. But if you think it's bad, go watch Supercross on Peacock, because Supercross is doing this thing now where first of all, they have a drone camera that they follow the race with probably 70% of the time. And it's a slower frame rate than the rest of the broadcast. So it's running at 30 frames instead of 60 frames. So it looks jerky. It doesn't have the same resolution, so it's a little bit blurrier. And it's far enough away from the bikes that you can't tell what the hell's going on. And then the other thing they do is they've done this split screen thing where they show you two different battles, and they're in these small screens top to bottom. They have a ton of empty space around it, and then they have the scoring pylon on the left side of the screen like NASCAR does. So now I have a 50-inch television, and I'm watching the race on essentially a 20-inch TV, two 20-inch TVs in front of me, because they're running these split screen battles. And then now, God forbid, I'm watching on my phone or my iPad, and then you need a freaking magnifying glass to see it. Not to mention Supercross has gotten rid of cameras, so now they're doing these really wide shots from up on top of the stadium too, and you can't see anything. So it's not just Fox, it's not just NASCAR.
Right. Yeah, the ARCA race. That reminds me, the ARCA race. At one point, they switched cameras and nothing was there. It was just pointing off into the distance on Sunday or on. I think that was Friday.
Yeah, I didn't watch the ARCA race either. I don't even know who won that.
I saw part of it. I just saw that on social media and I laughed. They make it too easy.
That's funny. All right, so mine, James, again, sports related, not NASCAR related. Mine is the Detroit Tigers announced their City Connect uniforms.
Oh, I've seen these.
Have you seen the City Connect uniforms?
Uh-huh.
Do you like them?
Of course not.
Okay, I figured you wouldn't. I figured I might get some abuse because they're black. and I gave you so much crap over the Black Lions jerseys.
They have nothing to do with the Detroit Tigers.
They're so bad. Like,
Good.
just terrible. Like, I'm not a big traditionalist, but baseball is about tradition. And these uniforms just, it doesn't even look like a minor league team. It's just terrible.
And now we know how cheap they are, and they're trying to fix them because the pants keep ripping.
Right.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I'm not a fan.
It looked like they got run over by a car. Is what they look like.
Yeah, and literally because there's a tire track on them.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I was watching a video where they're breaking down the whole thing, and they've got the Detroit on the hat looks cheap. They've got the tiger, but he's under the bill. Like, who gives a crap? They've got the Michigan 1 street sign on the sleeve, but the 1 isn't the right font, and it's 313 for Detroit. It's just so bad. It's just terrible. So
we just got to stop. We're out of ideas.
Yeah. Why do we have to change it? Why do we have to have specialty uniforms? I know why you have to have specialty uniforms so you can sell more freaking merchandise, but for God's sakes,
but it's all watered down and stupid. People are getting on to the game now.
Yeah.
So people know what the game is, and they hate it. So
yep, it's enough. With that, James, let's bust through short track corner real quick. As I mentioned, and you alluded to as well, was at Anderson, Indiana this weekend. The Anderson Speedway, very awesome quarter-mile bull ring racetrack. If you've never been to Anderson, it is incredible. I don't know how old it is, but it's got to be about 8,000 years old, and I think the grandstands are still original. Because I feared for my life climbing the stands in turn 4 during practice to get photos from up high. But this place is like, it's like Bristol on steroids. It is high banked, tight, hardly enough space to fit 2 cars side by side. You can't pass without making contact, and just an incredible race. 100 laps for the Jeg CRA All-Stars this weekend. Cody Coughlin makes his return to the Jeg CRA All-Stars. You're familiar with Cody Coughlin, right? You know the name, James, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cody Coughlin comes out there and dominates for the most part, wins the race, takes the win over Blake Rowe, who finished second. He was the winner last week at Berlin. But just a great race, a lot of fun. Second race for me with them, shooting photos. I'm off now until they run at where they run. They run at Spartan Speedway or Corrigan Oil Speedway later next month. They actually race at Owasso Speedway on Memorial Day weekend, but I will not be there. But the Jeg CRA All-Stars will be. So check those guys out. Owasso Speedway also doing some amazing things out there as well. We've talked about them on here too. So
of course,
that's what I got in the short track corner.
Perfect. How did you like it? I mean, you're going good so far? You're loving it?
Yeah, I'm having fun. It's a lot of fun. Getting to know the drivers a little bit. We did headshots for they have 12 full timers this year. So we did headshots for all of them. So I got to meet them and at least say hi and whatnot. So they're getting to know who I am. And it's fun. It's a lot of work. It's
any future Cup champions in the field?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Carson Hocevar's got a team. And the kid that's racing for him, Chase Pincenalt or something like that. I'm butchering his last name and I apologize. But he looks pretty good. He did wreck this weekend though. Unfortunately, it wasn't his deal, but got caught up in it. But he looks good. Chase Berto, I've talked about him. He's last year's champion. He's been struggling this season a little bit. He hasn't had a good couple of races to start out, but he'll be one to watch still this season. I don't know. There's some guys that have the swagger. You get the pictures of them leaning on the wall or leaning on the car with their sunglasses and their arms folded. I was like, ooh,
you just know.
He looks like he could be standing on pit road at MIS someday. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see. And it's neat because it's a touring series, but it's still pretty low end, local track racing type stuff and crate style late models. And it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to be involved in it. So having fun.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. I watch your adventures on Facebook or wherever you share them from time to time, and it's always, it's cool.
Yeah,
So,
I'm thinking about trying to start up a
good.
video component, but I'm trying to figure out how to find time to do it and make it worthwhile. So we'll see. It might be coming.
Yeah. Well, very good.
Here you go. Anything we missed, James? We cover everything?
I think we covered it, man. This went way longer than I thought.
I know, right?
It always does. It always does.
I felt like the rhythm was off tonight, but I don't know. We're I don't know. We both feel a little.
No, our rhythm was great.
We both feel distracted. I don't know what the deal is. Are you watching something while you're doing this?
No, I'm not watching.
You doing
anything.
work while you're doing this?
No, I'm not doing anything of the sort.
I'm just trying not to cough. Is my whole deal. So, James,
that might be what it is. No, we did good.
Where can you find you on social media if they want to hit you up during the week?
At James Cush on Twitter.
You can find me at TSuperspeedway on Twitter. You can find the podcast on Facebook at facebook.com/thesuperspeedway. Our website is thesuperspeedway.com. You can find us you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Audible, and iHeartRadio. Wherever you found us today, please subscribe and continue to listen each week for new episodes. And if you go to anchor.fm/thesuperspeedway, you can leave us an audio message, and we might just play it on the show. We head to Darlington Raceway this weekend. It is Throwback Weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series in action on Sunday, the Goodyear 400, the Xfinity Series on Saturday with the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200, and the Truck Series kicks things off on Friday night with the Buckle Up South Carolina 200. We'll be back next week to break it all down and get ready for the All-Star Race. Until then, everybody, let's go racing.